Welcome back to my channel. As you could see, I'm back at the farm this morning, and I was here about a month ago. I came back again since yesterday for the short visit and supervise some investment we are making in a couple of infrastructure. Notably, we are expanding the poultry farm. So that's why I came, but I also want to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about our BSF farm, which had a bit of issues a couple months ago. Because of the extreme heat that was going through West Africa, we lost a lot of, actually all of our flies. All the flies died back in April. But since then, we've been able to restart our production. So I want to tell you a little bit. So in this video, I want to tell you a little bit about our BSF farm. So stay tuned. So this is where we have our flies. This is our loft cages. And we have two large loft cages. We have this one, the one you are seeing currently, and then we have a second one. We also have these two smaller cages. We have these two smaller cages where we raise our flies, and with this setup we have actually been able to collect about 150 grams of eggs a day. And of course the production goes up and down because the fly population goes up and down. Currently it is loaded with flies, so we are able to collect quite a bit of eggs today. So we collect each cage every other day. So yesterday we collected from this cage, so today we are going to collect from this cage, and so on and so forth. The smaller cages, we just loaded them with pupae yesterday. That's why you don't see the eggies, right? Those wooden lats that you see here are where the flies lay eggs. So we have not put them here yet because the flies started to come out this morning. So we are going to place them in today. It's the same thing here. You can see there's no eggies here. So we are going to place the eggies later on today. But then what we do is collect one large cage and a small one the same day. So most likely tomorrow we're gonna collect here. We're probably not gonna collect here yet. But then the day after tomorrow, we're gonna come back here because we're gonna collect the eggs from here today. But then we're gonna collect it along with this small cage, right? So we're gonna put the eggies today, and then 2 days from now, we'll collect these two together. And then 2 days later, we'll collect these two together. So that's how we do in terms of eggs collection. This is where we raise our flies. Our flies is very small, but we are thinking about an extension very soon. So we are going to build another place for loft cages that's going to be much larger, increase our production. And here, this is where we raise the maggots. This is our black room. So basically, if you are familiar with BSF farming, or if you're not, there are stages of the maggots. And once the maggots reach a pre-pupae stage, they like to be in dark places before they become pupae, and it's the pupae that become flies, right? But at the pre-pupae stage, we put them in this dark room because they like to be in the dark. You can see this is the dark room. There are flies here. There's lots of flies here because we had pre-pupae here. We are losing these flies. Now, once you put them in the black room and then they become pupae, then we transfer the pupae to the loft cages, right? And you don't need, some people don't do this. Some people just take the pre-pupae and put them directly in the loft cages. But when you put them here, it accelerates the cycle very quickly because the pre-pupae, they like to be in dark places. So we create the dark environment where we put them in. And once they immobilize and become pupae, we transfer them to the loft cages. They now emerge as flies. Here is where we raise the maggots that would become flies. We have two places. There's another place in the back where I'll show you in a minute, where we raise the maggots for consumption. That's the maggots that we harvest to dry, to give to our poultry or sell to people. So we have these bioponds here, and we mark the days. So this is the 6th day. So the maggots that are here have been here for 6 days. So what we do, once we harvest, we hatch the eggs. Eggs stay in the incubator for like 5 days. So they stay there for 5 days. On the 6th day, we transfer them here. So in total, this has been 11 days since we've collected the eggs, right? So 5 days for hatching, and then we place them here. So they've been here 6 days. So we mark them this way, right? 10 days, 7, 7, 7, 7 also. This is about 13. So you start to see them becoming black. So the black ones here, you can see, the black ones here that are still moving are pre-pupae. These are the ones that like to be in the dark, right? So that's the ones we place in the black group. This is 13 days as well. So you're gonna see here, the black. When they become pre-pupae, they don't like to be in the substrate. So they're gonna climb themselves. So that's why we have these inclined here. So they climb themselves and come here. So they self-harvest, and then we just take them. So in this room, we raise the maggots to become flies. So we kind of feed them a separate way. So we feed them well so that they become very big. And this is how we sell the maggots, right? So we put them in bags of 5 kilos, right? 5 kilograms here. And then we sell them to people that want to feed their poultry, right? Or pig or fish. So that's how we condition our maggots. After we dry them, we sell them in bags of 5 kilos. And this is where we hatch our eggs. These are the eggs from yesterday. These are the eggs we collected yesterday. So we put them here, we hatch them here in this bucket. So these are eggs that I've hatched the day before. So you could see there already are little maggots in here. Can you see them moving? They're very, very, very tiny. Can you see them? They're really, really small. So these are hatched, these are eggs from like 2 days ago. So we classify this way. So this is from yesterday, this is from the day before, this is from the day before, and so on and so forth. So as you could tell, there are usually only 5 buckets here, or 6 buckets. So today we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are going to transfer these 2, actually these 3. We're going to transfer these 3 into bioponds. So we late because there were no room. All the bioponds were full. Otherwise, on the 6th day, we removed them so that there are always 5 here, right? 5 buckets that stay on this thing, because we only keep them here for 5 days, and then the ones on the 6th day we transfer them into the bioponds. So everything here also is raised to become flies, right? But sometimes, if the production is very high, we harvest some of them around the 10th days to dry and feed them. So this one, for example, we're going to harvest some to dry for feeding, right? As you can tell, there's a lot here, right? There's a lot here. They're not black yet, so we are going to harvest this because it's quite a bit. And yeah, and then this morning we just woke up. It's still early here, so we have not been here to kind of feed them and do all the other things. So here we are also going to harvest a little bit. So when the production here is too high, we harvest to dry, because otherwise everything here is only harvest. We keep it to become flies. So we feed them a little better so they are big, because if you have big maggots, you get big flies, and big flies lay a lot of eggs. So that's what we do here. And so this is where we keep our organic matter. These are pineapple peels, right? So the skin of the pineapple that we've collected yesterday. These are vegetable waste from the market. This is also pineapple. So Aruna here, say hi Aruna. So Aruna here is in charge of the maggots. So he's kind of fixing, if you forget that he's not wearing gloves, I cannot get him to wear gloves. I've done everything. I buy him gloves. It's actually, I can show you here. I buy him medical gloves. I buy him, he would not wear the gloves. Here, he would not wear the gloves. I don't know why. So before you comment that I don't take care of my employees, I take care of them very well. But what we do usually when we bring them, we ferment them. So we put them in these big drums, and then we close it for about 3 days. This is empty. Okay, so what you can see here is just the poultry feed when we feed them and then they drop, or like when we make the feed and then they drop on the floor. So this is from this is brewery waste, right? So we get some brewery waste and then we mix it with the vegetables and then we feed it to the larvae. So this is what we do. So this is where we keep our organic waste. So he's preparing them. He's gonna put this in the bucket to ferment. and we're going to use it to feed our maggots. And we're going to use some of them to feed the maggots today because we're not able to ferment some of them yesterday. Actually, no, I think we have some feed. Yeah, I think this one is fermented a little bit. This is the brewery waste. So we're going to use the brewery waste this morning and mix it with some of these. Okay, so what you are seeing here is larvae being dried. So what we usually do, we've tried a couple of combinations. We have an oven, but it has broken down, right? But it's also the raining season, so it's been hard to get people out here to fix it. So then what we've been doing is just so when we harvest the maggot, we put them in hot water. We kind of grill them. So we grill them a little bit here. So that's what you are seeing here. So we grill them a little bit, not fully, just to kind of immobilize them and then dry them a little bit, and then we sun dry them. This is not ideal, I know this is not ideal, but this is just temporary. Once we fix our oven and dehydrator, so we are going to go back to drying them in very clear condition. And these one, we're not going to sell these, so this is going to be our own consumption here at the farm, because I don't think it's the highest quality that we should be selling to our consumers. So we are going to keep this for our own consumption at the farm. But the ones you see in the bags there were dried in an oven to be sold. And once the oven is fixed again, we are going to start packaging them to sell to customers. And what you see here just is small. So we've planted some corn this year. There's a lot of them on the other side. I don't know if you could see over there. So we planted about 1 hectare of corn, which is about 2 acres, I think. Right? It's about 2 acres of corn that we've planted. So it's already started to give us some fruits over there, as you could tell. So let me go in here. You could see. So here, so corn is starting to come out. And yeah, of course, this is not enough for our consumption. We need a lot more for our poultry. But we had some space in the last 2 years. We have not done anything here, so I decided this year to grow some corn. Even if we're gonna use it maybe to feed, to decrease. If we're lucky, we might get, 1 ton or 2, a little over 1 ton of maize, of corn, and we can use it, for the farm workers' consumption or something like that. So I just didn't want to leave the space empty. The last 2 years we didn't do anything here, but this year I decided to grow something. And I don't know if you've been following us since the beginning. If you've been following us since the beginning, then we started operations here September of 2022. So it's been 2 years since I've started this farm. And the last 2 years I've really focused on developing 3 activities: the poultry farm, the BSF farm, and the Azola farm. So the poultry farm is even in expansion. That's what you could see over there. You could see the poultry farm. I don't know if you could see in the video, but I'm pointing in that direction. And so we are increasing our production we are going from a 3,000 capacity to a 6,000 capacity. And we've divided into 3 pens. So the goal is to produce about 2,000 chicken a month. Currently, we're doing 1,000 chicken a month. And so the BSF farm is also been in expansion. So this is where we grow maggots for harvesting. So we harvest these maggots to dry. So the ones you've seen over there being dried have been harvested here. So from these bioponds. So we've harvested just 3 bioponds 2 days ago. Right? So that's what I just showed you, that is being dried. And these other bioponds are also loaded. So here, 5 days. We raise them here between 8 and 10 days, right? 8 to 10 days, then we harvest. So by 8 days, we kind of look at the evolution. Sometimes at 8 days, they're big enough, or we let them reach 10 days before we harvest. This is 4. And here we have 5. So this is the same batch, and then 4. So this and the other one are the same batch, and then this is 2. Right, so this is where we grow our maggots for harvesting. As you can see, it's already full. So the buckets I've shown you over there at the nursery, there's 3 buckets. They're going to be transferred here today. So everything here is going to be full. And in terms of expansion, that's why we've broken down this tree. I know it's sad before you say anything. This is also a useless tree. So it doesn't provide anything, it doesn't give fruits or, you know, good, yeah, it's just there. So, and we need a space, and we are planting other trees anyway. So I've showed you over there, so we're going to replace it. So this is it. So as you could see, in terms of expansion, we are going to build new bioponds in this area here to increase our production. The production has gone up a lot more since we've started. So we are going to increase our production by building new bioponds under this. So this is where we grow the maggots to become flies. This is the brood stock, I guess. And this is where we grow maggots to harvest, to dry for consumption. And we are going to build here for expansion. And so I didn't say anything about this thing here. So what we are trying to do here, the goal is to create a bit of a microclimate here. So that's why we have these trees. So these trees, when they grow, they get very big, and then they have a lot of leaves even during the dry season. Because in the previous dry season, our flies died because it was too hot and because the humidity was really low. The flies need at least 30% humidity. So we are going to build, so this is Mara alfalfa. It grows really tall to 3 meters. And so we've had these trees here, and this is going to be built. So we're gonna add some roof here and then put some humidifier inside. So we're gonna bring the fly cages in here. This is just for the dry season, right? So we're gonna keep the fly cages here, maybe 2 or 3 small cages, just to be able to continue our production during the dry season and not lose our flies anymore. So this is going to allow us to keep our production going in the dry season. And then once the rain starts and the humidity is very high, we can go back again to using our current love cages, this one as well. So we can go back to using the 2. So in the first year when we started in the dry season, so the dry season of 2023, right, which is around March and April, we lost our fly population. We lost our colony. Then this year again in 2024, we lost our colony. So we said, okay, let's try again the 3rd year. We're going to create a microclimate to be able to conserve our fly population in order to continue our production. So this is it for this is one to show you about our BSF farm. And again, so we are doing it because we want to incorporate in our poultry farm, in our poultry feed, to lower the cost of production of the poultry and increase our margins. And I think it's a lucrative venture. So if you want to invest in farming, think about investing in the BSF farm. Specializing in the BSF farm, you can produce in large quantity to sell to farmers. We are producing in small quantity in order to feed our poultry and to sell to people. All right, so this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. So long, and see you in the next video.